spins and travels.
What are we doing? It doesn't make sense to me.
Well, let me try to explain it. You got stuck with nowhere to go. That was obviously a travel, but you got bailed out. That's what happened.
It doesn't make sense to me.
Well, let me try to explain in further detail.
Who spins and
Right then is when the whistle blew.
spins and
After your 3 steps and not releasing the ball. Kevin Harlan and Reggie Miller switch suddenly from saying you traveled to you must have been fouled in order to travel.
travels and a shove and a foul on Denver.
Let's see if he was shoved in the back here that caused the travel.
All right, let me try and follow your logic, Reggie. The defender who is facing the right caused LeBron to travel going left. That looks like LeBron's arm trying to commit an offensive foul without anyone there. And then 3 steps after this, they blow the whistle. But you're saying the foul's back here?
Here's the spin move by LeBron.
He is stuck. LeBron James has used his steps. This is a travel. Christian Brown does not foul him. But since the announcers have to backpedal and there's no foul here, they claim it happened 3 or 4 steps ago.
What are we doing?
We are saving your ass, just like this play, where you drive, fall down, and then just get to start over again. We are listening to you complain about the same officials that allow you to overcome the inability to follow basic basketball rules. How many steps has he taken here?
It doesn't make sense to me.
By the way, you just palm that ball as long as you need to get control before proceeding to part 2 of your traveling violations. Now that we're all thoroughly confused, do you know who they actually called the foul on in this play? Take a guess. Well, I'll give you a hint. They blew the whistle when Brown took a swipe at the ball. I misled you. They called it on Murray, which either means Murray missing everything here is a foul, or the even more absurd option, which was saying that Murray fouled him before LeBron even began the drive. Choose your own answer in this absurd world of trying to keep a fraud relevant. I made that multiverse of truth video last night based largely on hearing Chris Broussard try to bail LeBron James out, creating excuses for LeBron James's massive late game blunder. Essentially, he was saying, well, he's got that wide open shot. You got to take it. No, Chris, instead of making an excuse, let's look at something much more fundamental. Why don't you look at the mistake before that mistake? Going into a shooting motion that early in the shot clock. Yeah, he had a wide open shot, but let's rewind. Why is he even in a shooting position? You don't want to shoot yet, don't pick up your dribble. You don't want to pass to a teammate, don't pick up your dribble. I look at this and it looks to me like he's trying to shake the defender, and he does what he always does, is shove the guy while stepping back into his shot. Some people say he's traveling on this. I've given up on trying to point out LeBron traveling. Let's just focus on the fact that he picked up his dribble. You know, was he scared? Did he get scared and pick up his dribbler like a first-time basketball player does? He should not have given up the dribble. He should not have stopped moving the ball this early in the shot clock. I would have liked to see him pass it to D'Lo. I would have liked to see D'Lo rotate out to the three-point line, but they didn't need a three-pointer, so he could have passed it to D'Lo right there. What really stands out to me is that no one's terribly concerned about LeBron taking that shot. It seems very fraudulent to me to talk about someone being the GOAT when the other team is comfortable with that guy taking a potential game winner. I mean, no one is rushing out there to take the place of Watson. They're like, as long as no one else takes the shot, we're okay with it. Just prevent other people from taking the shot. So let's talk about Rui. They could have passed the ball to D'Lo, who could have swung it to Rui, and then they could have swung it back, or just pass it straight to Rui. Here's the thing. Everyone's going to talk about Rui not shooting well, which is true. I agree. It happens. You know, Unfortunately, in this age, if LeBron's teammates aren't all performing great, then all the blame goes on them and none of it on LeBron. I will remind people that that glorified shot by Steve Kerr in the 97 finals, Kerr was shooting poorly leading up to that shot, and Jordan chose to trust him, and Kerr delivered. So, if LeBron wants to be like Jordan, here's his opportunity to trust a struggling teammate. Is it a risk? Absolutely. But LeBron taking the shot is a fucking risk too. Especially taking it that early. Yeah, I mean, they would have been better passing the ball around and not taking any shot rather than LeBron just giving the other team the ball that quickly. I am bothered by the fact that I have to point this out. Maybe other YouTubers are also saying it. I don't know. But that's my point. If it's basketball fans at home who are breaking down the game more critically than paid professional analysts, something's wrong. How can I be the one pointing this out to the world rather than Chris Broussard or Stephen A. Smith? I mean, I don't take these people seriously, but it is their jobs. They're the ones we're supposed to be turning to understand the game better. Instead, what we get is explanation after explanation after explanation about why you shouldn't criticize LeBron too harshly. As long as I mentioned Rui, let's move into part 2. I heard a lot of analysts blaming the Laker bench for not producing. Stephen A. Smith used the words nothing. They provided nothing. So here's the first wake-up call. It's really sad when everyone can predict what the media is going to say before it even happens. Everyone said, who is LeBron going to blame next? Unbelievably, well, when I say unbelievably, what I really mean is completely predictably, LeMedia is talking about the bench of the Lakers not coming through. Would you like to talk about the bench of the Denver Nuggets? Hell, we don't even have to get to the bench. I mean, look, KCP shot 28.6%. Jamal Murray shot 37.5%. What was he, fucking 5% prior to the fourth period? So let's look at the rest of the contributions from Denver's bench that, if only LA had Denver's squad. Watson, 1 of 4. Reggie Jackson, 0 for 5. Holiday, 0 for 1. Christian Brown, 5 for 8. I mean, Rui Hachimura has struggled. Thank God. I'm not going to start crapping on him because I still think he's a quality player. And as much as you want to crap on Rui, who went 1 for 7, well, KCP went 2 for 7. It's not like it's a night and day difference. Here's what's different. The number of attempts. The Denver Nuggets bench were at least getting attempts. The Lakers bench are getting ripped for not producing points while they aren't even being given the chance to score. You got Jackson Hayes is 0 for 0. Dinwiddie was 0 for 1. Gabe Vincent, 0 for 2. Wow. Up there with 2 attempts. Satorian Prince had the most. He went 2 for 3. And he easily had the most minutes. You give someone more minutes, get them more comfortable, and their percentage is going to go up. But if you have LeBron James with 19 attempts, Anthony Davis with 19 attempts, D'Angelo Russell with 16 attempts, Austin Reeves with 11 attempts, something's got to give. You don't have that many more attempts left over for everyone else. Stop pretending like everyone gets 30 attempts a game and only some people manage to produce points out of it. Nobody had, oh, Jamal Murray, the guy who fucking was shooting horribly, had 24 attempts. But outside of him, the next highest was Jokic with 16, and then 13, and then 10. Yeah, I mean, obviously there were more attempts to go around for Denver's bench because the starters were passing them the ball. Listen to this. The Lakers bench took 6 shots, which resulted in 6 points. Denver's bench took 18 shots, and they only produced 4 more points. How can it be a shock that the Lakers bench didn't provide that much? And again, it is fundamentally wrong for me to have to come and explain this, rather than Stephen A. Smith telling people the truth. Stephen A. Smith is out there crapping all over LA's bench while not critically breaking down what actually happened. 18 shots by Denver's bench compared to the Lakers' 6. Come on. Of course they produced more points, but when you think about it, they only produced 4 more points. Why aren't actual analysts talking about that? The Nuggets overcame. The Nuggets found a way to win. The Nuggets had clutch players, composed players, people who looked like they had 21 years of experience rather than us just hearing announcers tell us about 21 years of experience constantly. Not to take away from ripping on LeBron, but AD, with his short answer and dropping the mic. You child. You guys are such embarrassing children. And Joel Embiid, what an embarrassing child. Maybe AD is mad that he's working his ass off. And in the end, LeBron doesn't want to guard Jamal Murray. LeBron doesn't want to do it. Please switch. Switch as quickly as possible. AD played great D. I can't believe Jamal Murray made that. That was incredible. I mean, what did AD do wrong? And everybody's talking about, oh, AD is great for 3 quarters. Oh, but then nothing in the fourth. Well, I thought that LeBron James was the mastermind. And anytime things are going well, he's also the coach. And the offense runs through him. Well, then get the ball to AD if that's what's working. You don't get to take the credit at running the offense and being the mastermind when the person who should have had the ball didn't have it or didn't take the shots. It took Robert Horry possibly sacrificing his career as an analyst to finally be the one who said it. I don't know if you saw that short I put up, but Robert Horry explained exactly what went wrong. And he called out LeBron James, and LeBron James wanting to do that ISO game and them going away from what worked. Are you guys out there saying that Anthony Davis runs the team and dictates how they're going to run the offense in the fourth? You can't blame him if the Lakers aren't figuring out how to utilize him. Yes, I know that Denver switched, and I know that Denver made some smart moves in order to adjust to the fact that Anthony Davis was dominating them. But then the Lakers need to adjust. Was Anthony Davis in a good situation to take the shots? I tell you what, the shots that Anthony Davis did make, Anthony Davis was scaring me. I was like, God damn, if Anthony Davis is doing this. You combine what Anthony Davis was doing with the Nuggets having a poor shooting night, that should have been the Lakers game. I mean, these things happen when you have 2 teams that are good and have professionals on it, but the team with a fake GOAT is trusted with a shot that he should not have been trusted with. You know, and it's not like he had a miracle game. Everybody acts like he had a miracle game. He had a better than his usual abysmal self in the playoffs game. In terms of them telling you things that aren't true, this is also from the first period. Here's LeBron James getting his teammates involved. I mean, look at this. This should be a turnover. That's a great recovery by D'Lo to come back for the ball. And then after that, he takes a dribble and pops it. D'Lo recovers from LeBron's bad pass, hits a difficult shot, but in the history book, it's going to say LeBron with the assist, getting his team involved early. Jesus, that was D'Lo saving his ass. But I think the last shots before that were at the 5-minute mark. I'm like, well, the 5-minute mark is not the mark. It's after 4 minutes that LeBron James gets really scared. Anything inside 2 minutes, forget about it. D'Lo had the hot hand. Anthony Davis was killing it. LeBron James takes the shot that is the difference in the game. I mean, that's the game winner. That's the game winner. Except he didn't hit it, and they didn't win the game. They desperately, eagerly want to talk about LeBron getting into the 41% category in three-point shooting this year. They also desperately don't want to talk about his shooting in the clutch. That is the difference between being a GOAT or not. Not accumulating stats over a career in which you lost over and over and over again. 30 years of playing pickup basketball. You think I want to lose a lot, but say, hey, that guy on my team, look at the stats he's accumulated. He can't hit a game winner, and we lost more than we won. But man, look at the stats he's accumulated over all this time. Sure glad I was on his team. On First Things First, Wilds tried to bring up that it was a bad look for LeBron to sit there and complain about the officiating after being the one who blew the chance for them to win after the team lost a 20-point lead. And the desperation, the defending of him, it's like, oh, it wasn't really criticism. The guy's dropping F-bombs and saying, what in the hell? What in the hell are they thinking? What are we doing? Why do we even have this? If the officials can't get it right, why do we even have the replay center? And that's not criticism. Are you kidding me? But here's what I really want to talk about. They're talking about that being a bad look. How is it that not a single analyst is talking about what LeBron was doing after the game? Stalking the refs, following the refs, chasing the refs, yelling in the faces of the refs, coming up behind the refs. It looks like a fucking horror movie where you're screaming at the television, look out behind you. That's not a bad look, huh? I mean, anything LeBron does is fine. There seems to be absolutely no limit on what is going to be allowed for him. Without saying that other players don't get away with this, we've seen them get punished. We've even seen big name players get punished. But this is through the roof. Like, even if it's in the contracts of these refs to tolerate LeBron, man, I don't know if I could do it. I mean, they are really having to be patient and just take endless abuse from this guy. Well, another long video, and I have so much more to get through still. I better publish this one. Hey guys, now more than ever, as LeMedia comes after us YouTubers, like and subscribe, share, please. I actually need your help. I appreciate you. See you on the next one.